Assassin's Creed Valhalla is headed to Google Stadia. But in lieu of this, people are concerned about its performance versus the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. Why? Let's get into it.
Stay sick cause I follow my gut. They say I was pushing my luck. I'ma push me a matte all black truck. I'm not sorry.
What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of the Stadia Dosage. Do me a huge favor before we get into this one. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when your boy's dropping these doses. I appreciate all of y'all straight up. Y'all know the deal, y'all know the reason, and y'all know the slogan. I am not too proud to ask. Let's get into it. All right. So here is an article from 9to5 Google that is detailing the fact that Assassin's Creed Valhalla lands on Google Stadia this year alongside next-gen consoles. This article comes from Ben Schoon of 9to5 Google, and it reads partially as follows. Before its full launch, the tech that powers Google Stadia was demoed using Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now Ubisoft is prepping the next Assassin's Creed title, Valhalla, and it's arriving on Google Stadia later this year alongside next-gen consoles. Ubisoft announced today, the day that they released notification of Valhalla, that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is set to arrive later this year, the holiday season to be specific, on both current gen and next gen consoles, including the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. In addition to that, the game will also arrive on Google Stadia. From the looks of it, it might be a simultaneous launch too, as they write. So here's the thing. All right. So that's not the surprising part, right? The surprising part for your boy is the fact that when we were filming the Stadia Initiative, and big ups to the Stadia Initiative panel that rocks out with your boy, you know what I'm saying, on Brian's or aka Club TV's YouTube channel. Definitely check it out, and I'll leave a link to it below. Courtesy of that, I was reading the chat, and big ups to homegirl Carly, big member in the community. She was featured on the Stadia Connect on the 28th of April. She does a lot of good. She has her own store that has a lot of accessories. I ordered something. It's just, I mean, she's just an all-around great person, and very supportive of the community. She had placed in the comments that people were we going to talk about during the show the concerns that people have over Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I said, well, what are the concerns? And the concerns were performance. And I'm like, performance how? And it was performance, I would assume, stacked against the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. Let me say this. Why, in my mind, as far as everything that we see in front of us, and as far as the moves that we've seen Google has made, we have nothing to worry about in that front. Okay. With that being said, here's why. First and foremost, we've heard talks already about the next gen, the 2.0 blades coming for Google Stadia. And we've already have an account courtesy of StadiaCast. We already have an account where a developer says that their next gen software, the games that they're making, is running better and is performing better on Stadia next gen 2.0 than it is for the Xbox Series X. You know, everybody's all jumping out the window for the Xbox Series X, so that's saying a lot. You know what I mean? Now, it may not be across the board, but hold on to that thought. If this random developer said that, I mean, that just lets you know that this is not something to be sneezed or laughed at. The Gen 2.0 for Stadia, all right? Secondly, we've already seen games as it stacks up against current consoles. Like, Stadia's model right now is, look, we may be light-footed in games, but we're giving you experiences that you may or may not be familiar with, but we're bringing them to you in a new way, right? We're bringing them to you in a portable way with the full fidelity, unlike how the Switch can do. We're also bringing it to you with better performance, constant 60 frames per second, a true performance mode that can only be respected. And even those funny entities like Digital Foundry had no choice but to respect Stadia's performance mode, right? So with all that said, with the current workup and the mock-up of how the system is compared versus the consoles that are out now, it's only self-evident that Stadia is going to keep that up. Again, we got Gen 2.0 coming out. We also got the fact that where they've marketed themselves and they've introduced themselves into the community with better performance for the games that you love to play. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not trying to slight the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, not to say that those are not going to be some hellified beasts. They may, they're going to apparently boost up the performance and run neck and neck at 60 frames per second. But believe you me, as they make improvements, Stadia's going to make improvements. So at the very least, with all that information out there, with that knowledge base that is already out there in front of us that we have, this thing is going to perform and look just as good as those consoles. You know what I'm saying? But here's the biggest thing to where I don't think that we're looking at everything in totality if we're expressing these concerns. This is an Ubisoft game. This game is coming from the developer at the time of this recording, I believe has more games developed for this platform more than anybody. And they're going to have more later on this year at the introduction of Uplay Plus on the ecosystem. Like, Ubisoft, no other developer at this point in time, I feel, knows the Stadia platform better than Ubisoft. Nobody. That would include Bungie. Nobody, because they develop more games for the platform, again, than anybody that I can think of. And their experience with the platform shows off for the simple fact that their most recent AAA introduction to the platform, Tom Clancy's The Division, is awesome. It's the best looking game as far as I'm concerned on the platform, and it's the best playing game on the platform. It is the creme de la creme, and it really shows off and shines as it relates to showing off what Stadia can do. And it has Stream Connect, and everything is just beautiful and runs flawless pretty much. So every time they drop a game in there, they look good and it looks even better. The only game that's kind of iffy, and again, it's not horrible or even bad, is Ghost Recon Breakpoint. When you bounce it up against everything else that's out there on Stadia from Ubisoft, it's not the best, but it's still a great looking game and still outshines a lot of the other games from other platform makers or other software makers on the platform. It's just that Ghost Recon Breakpoint altogether is horribly optimized everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But again, nobody has a pedigree. Nobody has an understanding of how Stadia is going to work more than Ubisoft as far as third-party developers are concerned. And again, those that have those concerns have not played The Division 2. They have not seen Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You know what they have done though, I believe? Where this came from? And I'm not going to show it on screen because I am not going to cascade ignorance and idiocy. But I think what they did is they saw or heard the bibble babble from Tom of Digital Foundry when they did the re-review of Stadia. Now, a lot of people have a different opinion of me than that, and that's fine. This community is not hive-minded, and if you're in this community or not, I'm entitled to my own opinion, which I will express freely, right? And I want you to express yours. That being said, I don't care what you say, all right? That second review was actually worse than the first one. The second review was worse, but for Digital Foundry, was worse for them because it even showed that after they went back and dotted their I's and crossed their T's, they still didn't know what the hell they were doing. First and foremost, they didn't even know that you could still toggle on and off performance versus quality mode. They thought you had to manually take it out of one socket and put it in another socket in order to get the different displays from 1080p, 720, and 4K. That's absurd. And then one of the faux pas that they made is that they said that the reason why the 4K 30 mode in Ghost Recon Breakpoint is so bad is because the system isn't powerful enough to handle the settings that it's set at. Again, not understanding that Ghost Recon Breakpoint is bad running even on a I have a 2070, and it's horrible to run there. And you guys have seen it in my streams. It's just a horribly optimized game. And until they fix and resolve everything, that's the way it's going to be. It's just horribly optimized. Secondly, because they don't know what they're doing and they don't do their due diligence, they didn't research and discover that Ghost Recon Breakpoint just recently had a patch around the same time that they were doing a re-review. And that patch made it even more unstable. So they got nothing to do with the platform can't handle it. That's bullpucky. And even John Linneman refuted what Tom said, but he did it way back when he was looking at the platform when he was doing, I believe, the Shadow of Tomb Raider review. And he said, I don't understand why, to me, the visuals ain't popping out even more. I can't explain it. I don't understand what's going on. When we looked at the hardware, it definitely can produce 10.7 teraflops. But for us right now, it's not doing it. You know what I'm saying? He even said that. So if he's saying that now we got Tom giving out this misinformation, it's a shame. And this is where I get upset, because the unsuspecting gamer is lost in the sauce. They hear that from Digital Foundry or by other outlets that is broadcasting Digital Foundry's bibble babble, and they start thinking, ooh, I do like this Stadia thing. I'm playing it for free, but man, should I even get it on Stadia? I would like to, instead of having to buy a $500 console. But I might have to go buy that $500 console. I might have to go sell some blood marrow. You know what I'm saying? Go donate, do a yard sale, whatever. Auction off the house to go get a brand new console. Because I really like Assassin's Creed. I love that franchise, but I want to play it with top-notch fidelity. And because Digital Foundry said that Stadia just can't handle, you know what I'm saying, top-notch software, I might be better served spending all this money that I really don't have to get a new console. And that's the farthest thing from the truth. Because again, we got Generation 2.0 blades coming. We already know, you know what I'm saying, what Stadia's pedigree is now versus the current lineup of consoles on performance, and they're only going to up that. As they get more data, they're going to get better. And lastly, we already know what Ubisoft's pedigree is with the application, or with the ecosystem rather, excuse me. So with all that being said, we got to do our jobs as stewards of this community, of those in the know. Do those unsuspecting gamers a huge favor. Tweet this out, let everybody know, put it on Facebook, whatever, or tell them your damn selves. Let them know they ain't got nothing to be worried about. This game is going to look beautiful and it's going to play fantastic. And guess what? You ain't got to refinance the house in order to do it, in order to get all that great performance and that great fidelity. All you do is pay the price of the game, and if you want the top-notch fidelity, $10 a month. You can't beat that with a stick. That's the value proposition of Stadia. You know what I'm saying? And definitely don't let the naysayers, and even some of the more disappointing naysayers, those that should be better equipped knowledge-wise with this, like Tom of Digital Foundry, don't let them lead you astray. This game is going to look great and play fantastic on Stadia. And with that said, that's it from your boy MM2K. Hey, yo, let me know what you think about what I had to say in the comment section below, because like I always tell you, here's what I think. But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. Those links will lead you to the Broadband Bullies, PNTS Network, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and yes, here to Stadia Dosage. And with all that said, you all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace. Like, sub, and share.